what's up? It's Matty at mixandmastermysong.com. So today is the third video in our Mixing Fundamentals installment series, whatever you want to call it. This one we're going to go over getting your basic levels and comparing what you have with your reference. Why is that so important? Okay, so here's the deal nowadays. Everybody is mixing at their house and spending months on a song. And then you as a mixing engineer have a day or two or whatever time you have to mix this song that someone's put their heart and soul into for months. Now, they have listened to it a certain way and they probably like it a certain way. So for us to go take it and completely change it and do our own thing is probably not going to make that client too happy in the end. So what I always try to do when I'm mixing a song is I like to listen to the reference a lot and A and B with what I got and what the reference has. And while still keeping some new creative stuff and doing some new creative things, keep in the same world, I guess you could say, as what the reference is. So take the rough mix and make it 10 times better is always kind of my motto. And then on top of that, I'll add some cool creative stuff, some different things that they might not have thought of, and just see if they like it or not. Because the worst thing, case scenarios, is the client says, hey, I don't like it, we'll dial it back. I'd rather do more than just give them the reference mix a little bit better. So I like to give them that times 10. So what I like to do is I usually have this on my Avocet so I can switch back and forth, but we're all in the box for the video. So what I'll do is first is match the gain level of my mix and the reference, because a lot of times the reference, the client had L2 by Waves or something, and it had, it's loud, super loud. So we want to make sure we're the same level so we can kind of keep the same perspective. So
about the shit that works for me.
I'll play my mix and then we'll solo this one.
About the shit that works for me. Yeah.
So like if I hadn't turned this down already.
About the shit that works for me. Yeah. About the shit that works for me. Yeah.
It'd already be way louder, So we solo that.
About the shit that works for me. Yeah. Every day I get her coffee in the afternoon. Only time we waking up when it's after 2. Last night we got stoned with nothing to do. She said I got a lot of love, but it's just for you. Another day of skipping class cause she hates her school. I'm always trying to mess it up, but she keeps.
So right off the bat, the first thing I hear is that I think our drums are a little louder right now. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but as far as the mix.
About the shit that works for me. Yeah, every day I get her coffee in the afternoon. Only time we waking up when it's after 2. Last night we got stoned with nothing to do.
And we got vocals that aren't panned and stuff. So with Cam's songs, luckily it's pretty basic stuff, and he sends them fairly dry off the bat, which makes my life easier. But a lot of mixes, you'll have guys that have done a ton of effects and stuff, and they might send them just completely dry. I tell all my clients to send their mixes wet, just the way they left them, and then send me a set of stems that are dry, so if I feel like it can make something better than they made it, I can drag the dry stems in. But right off the bat, we could hear that all the vocals are in the middle on this hook, so you can see that these are, he already labeled it left and right, so we'll pan those left and right, and maybe just bring our drums overall down a touch, so you can just group all 3 of them, turn them down a couple of dB, and then see where we're at now.
Coffee in the afternoon. Only time we waking up when it's after 2. Last night we got stoned with nothing to do. She said I got a lot of love, but it's just for you. Another day of skipping class cause she hates her school. I'm always trying to mess it up, but she keeps me cool. Last night.
All right, cool. So that's pretty close now. It's still, there's differences for sure in his mix and ours, but they're not drastic. I just want to make sure we have the same vibe going, and I think we got that now. So point of this video is just to kind of get your basic levels. This thing kind of came almost leveled already. I'll start
in the afternoon. Only time.
Start working on the drums, and the way I'll start a mix is work on the drums. I'll mute all this, the music and the vocals, and get my drums slamming first and foremost. Then move that in with the bass and make sure I get a good rhythm section vibe going. And I'll constantly be A-Bing with the rough mix just to make sure, the snare was in a certain place. I want to make sure I keep the integrity of his ideas together. So that's the importance of levels and getting a rough, using your rough mix. it's just so important nowadays that, you know, you keep what the client had in their head and just make it 10 times better. So let me know if you got any questions. Hit me up at Matty at mixandmastermysong.com. If you need your songs mixed or mastered, hit our website up, and talk to you soon.